take sabbatical. To haters that are radical, I'm savage like a catapult, hiking like a Viking, armed and ready for destruction. I came to murder hip-hop, fuck all of your discussions. My ancestors wore zoot suits, riots left them foolproof. Stronger than a diamond and I'm shining like a gold.
Yo, what's good, wonderful people all over the universe and anybody tuning in. This is the Friday Podcast. It's been months. I think the last time I recorded was in December during my Christmas breaks. I worked at a school. Right now I'm on spring break. It's about to wrap up. A lot of people who work in schools, their spring break's about to come up. Or college students, or people who their kids are about to be at home the whole time. They know what we deal with. Just kidding, kind of. So, since we last spoke, a lot has changed in the world, ladies and gentlemen. A lot has changed. Good and bad, but such is life. So, new president got elected, got in, not too much. Thank God we didn't get a civil war. I was expecting a civil war. I wasn't expecting, but I wouldn't have been surprised. But that's me, my anxiety ruling my thinking. So that's good. Some of the things that are being done right now in our government. I mean, I don't want to get too political, but so you can fast forward a little bit if you don't want to hear my interpretation. Like, I think if there's no better time than now to be in the middle. Okay, like I see the good being done on one side, but I'm also wary of deeper intentions. The other side was blatantly disrespectful to, the other side was just, so it just seems like it was done on purpose in a way. And so that part of me is like, oh, but the other part of me is like, well, fuck it. Let's just ride it. Let's see what happens. I mean, that's what we end up having to do anyway. And usually it works out for the majority of us. That's why the Constitution is in place to protect us from true tyranny. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware of. So thank God for that. Let's see, what happened in January? So my birthday passed. We had a good old birthday party at my crib. It was a good time, a blast. The iPod came through. My family that lives in the immediate area came through. I don't think that's the right term, immediate area. I mean, like the near area. And my immediate family. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, not a lot of extended family members. It wasn't like a long planned out thing. It was just 36th birthday come through. We had fajitas. It was delicious. And some brews. And that day it was pretty warm, but then it got cold. We had a couple of those like really cold weeks and really warm weeks. Right now, this week was pretty nice. It was a pretty nice week indeed. Man, I don't even know what happened in January. That's how uneventful it was. Well, no. I know personally what happened in January. My grandma passed away. Well, that was pretty tough. I talked about in the last episode how work has been pretty tough. It's still continuing to be. But, we're almost there to the summer. My grandma passed away, but I was able to see her in November. Which, did I record a podcast? Yeah, I did record a podcast after that. November. And she was in good spirits, you know, she was just old. She just looked tired and it's hard for her to move around and so yeah. My other grandma just celebrated her 74, one of her birthdays. My mom's birthday today. There's a lot of birthdays in the beginning of the year because there's mine, my dad's, my mom's, my grandma's, my brother-in-law's. Well, if you count, because now it's spring. Spring really feels like the beginning of the year. According to the Chinese New Year, it's the year of the wooden snake. I wanted to draw a snake with a backwood, like year of the wooden snake, but I haven't finished it. Maybe I'll share what I did draw. But I really want to upload this fast, but you know I do also want to put some production in it. And I know I need a mic. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the audio. But it's definitely better than when I was doing it on my laptop in 2020. That was wild. I'm trying to talk loud, but now it's gonna be like do. I dog sat for a few days. I'm gonna dog sit again for my cousin Sleepy's dog because he's going to St. Louis. She's a dope dog. She's really cool, very energetic. The house really feels empty whenever you have a dog or somebody over and then they leave. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm an introvert, so I like being at home alone. Therefore, I don't have my own dog, but I do get kind of used to it when you have one, but then it's like, all right, it's going to wear off. It's like puppy love. But it's going to be fun to have. It's a force to go walk. I'm blessed to have like a park in front of my house and a nice area to walk. So it's a good excuse to go exercise. Yeah, so that January, February, now we're in March. Oh yeah, there was fires. So we've been working on the Odd Pod. That's been taking up a lot of my time on weekends. That's why I haven't really done this podcast. But it's a fun podcast. I recommend you go watch and subscribe to the Odd Pod channel. It's in the description. It's me and my friends, and we've added new members like a cousin, somebody's cousin, somebody's friend. More females, so it's not just dudes, not just a sausage fest. We get more perspective. We got a new episode coming up. It's like the subject is what are you afraid to ask a woman or a guy? And so we're just asking each other questions. And that episode lasted like 3 hours, so we're gonna split that up in a couple parts. It got pretty wild, like chaotic. I mean, that's my name, Chris Chaos, but it got chaotic. But that's okay. That's what it was supposed to do. Yeah, so that's fun. Last time I was gaming a lot. I haven't really gamed. Gamey. It's like how you describe me. I've been trying to write more because I'm working on a new album. I haven't written an entire song. I wrote a song in the summer, but I wrote, I think, a really good hook to a really dope beat. And some of the verse. What else? I got some really cool stuff for my birthday. My sister and my brother-in-law, they got me some cool comic books. got me some, what's it call it? This is Justice League Dark 15. Some Pokemon cards. There's the, no, that's the thing. Yeah, man, my birthday was dope. Super dope. Super fun. Yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well and doing good. Hopefully you're not too stressed out. There's a quote. I was watching this crazy podcast. I don't even know the name of the dude. He was interviewing Brian Callen. It's an older guy. It's pretty controversial. Even for me, it's like some of the stuff he says, I'm like, oh. But it was interesting. I know he didn't make it up, but he said it. It was, worry is an illusion of being right. Worry presents itself as the truth, and it's not. There's a lot of things to worry about. But in the end, usually if you have faith in whatever you want to have faith in, God, the universe, yourself, it's a lot easier with God because it's like, oh, it's not just on you. But it usually works out with faith and smart decisions. You got to think too. You know what I mean? In order to have a good life, or what one would possibly consider a good life. All right, moving on from the intro, let's get into some random questions. This is probably gonna, some of these questions I already saw one that was like, what is your favorite metaphor? Dang, I got my thing right here. Best metaphors, because I have no idea. Alright, so let's see. Literary metaphors. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players. That's William Shakespeare. That's like a quote. I don't know if that's a metaphor. It's AI, though. From Google. Her eyes were like stars. Oh, when you compare something. Time is a thief. My thoughts are stars I cannot fathom into constellations. John Green. Memories are bullets. Richard Kadri. Life is a public performance on the violin in which you must learn the instrument as you go along. E.M. Forster. Oh, shit. There's some good dang metaphors. How am I going to pick a good one? I mean, the best one. Sport is war, minus the shooting. That's kind of corny. A heart of gold. Life is a roller coaster. She was an autumn leaf. That's a weird one. I should get ChatGPT on here. I have it on my phone. Being someone's a night owl, a lion when he comes to the field, Phoebe's a nightingale. My hands were icicles because of the cold weather. Dang, what the best metaphor of all time? Some of the most memorable and impactful metaphors in literature and everyday language include all the world's a stage. That one is true. I like that one. That one's pretty good. Life is a journey. That's fine. And he has a heart of gold, which are commonly used to convey complex ideas in a concise and evocative way. Okay, here's some more examples. Categorize for clarity. Metaphors about life and human condition. We already said those. She left me the way people leave a hotel room. From The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. The frosted wedding cake of the ceiling from The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Her carnivorous pencil carved up Susan's devotion. These are metaphors about emotion or inner states, and there's abstract concepts. Eyes are on the window to the soul. Oh, eyes are the window to the soul. Hope is on the horizon. America's a melting pot. I remember in school they said, "Nah, we're a tossed salad." And I was like, "Oh, what does that mean?" No, I'm just kidding. Future is a mistress that is so hard to please. Oh, life is a beep. Depending on how you treat her. I think that was Lil Wayne. Exhaustion is a thin blanket tattered with bullet holes. The past is a pebble in my shoe. Well, I cannot think of my favorite one. It's definitely going to be from a rap. Oh, I'm not going to look that up. Rap metaphor. I'm sure I have a couple good ones, but ooh, I make elevating music. You make elevator music. That's Eminem. What's this? I'm sweet like licorice, dangerous like syphilis. It doesn't say who. Well, I just don't say who. My will is like the cosmos, never ending. I almost make life perfect, but the image changes. I'm on a cool ranch, get laid more than Fritos. This example uses a comparison to create a humorous and suggestive image. Always teaching you how to do metaphors. Okay, what are some from people? We're just complaining about the metaphors on Reddit. I hear the Lupe Fiasco, the old one. And if the rain stops and everything's dry, she would cry just so I can drink the tears from her eyes. She'd teach me how to fly, even cushion my fall if my engines ever stall and I plummet from the sky. Yeah, that was pretty dope. I got someone was like, what is it? Sunshine. I take a sleep beneath the flowers. Oh, there's one where Eminem does like I raised the bar. I don't know how he said it though. Maybe I can think up of one real quick. Man, I'm cooler than a no. That's Big Boy. Big Boy from Outkast. I'm cooler than a polar bear's toenails. I'm hotter than hookers. Unwashed, dirty vagina in Arizona in the middle of summer. No, I'm just kidding. That's disgusting. Sorry, guys. Moving on. Would you ever set up a nanny cam and spy on someone watching your kids? For sure. Unless it's like my mom, somebody that or her mom or something. Being of Hispanic culture, oftentimes we use members of the family to watch our children. How many backup plans do you make for your original plan? Ooh, 3, maybe 2. Sometimes you don't need to make a backup plan because you make a backup plan, you're kind of just setting yourself up for failure for the first plan. How do you feel about people wearing animal furs and animal skin shoes? This is the one that I thought was a little controversial. I think if you live in an area where it benefits you to actually, like mass production, I'm against it. But if you live in an area like in the olden times and you needed those furs to survive in that area of the world, I'm for it. The whole mass production and shit of it, like the way that they do the lugs, I think that's what they're called, not Uggs. Is it Uggs? Well, wait, I mean, I've seen one video where they're like fucking shaving the ass of the lamb and just throwing it in shit or whatever. I know I got that all wrong, but yeah, I'm against that. So I'm in the middle. That's what she said. How would you ever date, or would you ever date someone much older or younger than you, and which? The easy one is younger, right? Because I'm 36. So much younger would be just dating someone 26. That's 10 years. Some people would say it's not a big difference. It's a big difference. All the references, bro. Older, maybe. 10 years older would be 46, but that's like 10 years closer to my mom's age. So, probably go younger. What would you do to cool down when it's hot out? Whenever I'm hot as a hooker with the unwashed vagina in Arizona in the summer, drink cold water. Yeah, drink cold water, bro. Get in the AC, dog. Thank God for AC, because that's the scariest thing to me if the grid goes down and I'm not prepared. I know human instinct kicks in, but sometimes it takes a couple generations. Would you ever allow yourself to be auctioned off for a good cause or charity? What the fuck? This is 2025, my friends. I'm not like auctioning myself. Oh, I think they mean like for a date or something. Yeah, why not? I guess so. It's kind of weird. I guess if I was famous or something, yeah, I would do it. What is the funniest one-liner joke you've ever told? Dang. Gotta go back to Google. One-liner jokes. Come on, Bustle. What is it? Bustle.com. Oh, a lot of dad jokes. Come on, bro. What is this? Just give me the list. Oh, these are the pictures. These are the... Did you hear about the two spiders who just got engaged? I hear they met on the web. But Did you hear about the two florists that just got married? I hear it was an arranged marriage. Two cannonballs got married this morning. I hear they're already expecting BBs. That was pretty good. All right, let me see. 30 one-liner bar jokes. Let's get to it. But these are 2 lines. Oh, not stupid. Oh, that's a good one. So a dyslexic walks into a brawl. That's the only funny one. That's only 1 line. Some of those are 2 lines. These are all 2 lines. I guess if you just write it in 1 line. What do you call an artist with a brown finger? Picasso. Holy shit. Whoa. What's a porn star's favorite drink? 7-Up inside her. What's slimy, cold, long, and smells like pork? Kermit the Frog's finger. Alright, we're gonna take a break. I'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Friday podcast. This segment is called Spirit Animals. Whoa. It's kind of had to restart my computer. I had all my information on there, but I think my computer couldn't handle it, keeping all those tabs open. So I looked it up on my tablet, and I realized AI can be used for good. It gave me a little summarization of the animal that I'm looking up today. So I did all this research before I went back to work. This was back in the summer, so this was like July of 2008. And I just didn't do a podcast until December. And in December, I decided to just talk the whole episode. So I didn't have a segment. So I'm finally doing the segments that I set up for way back then. Sometime around July, I saw a starling land on the fence behind my backyard. So I looked it up. So according to this, and it gives you where it got it from as well. So starlings are often seen as symbols of community, unity, and they call that unity and community. Unity's inside of it. Come in your unity. No. Flexibility, change, and even messengers from the spirit world, with their organized flight patterns, also called murmurations, representing order and the power of gathering. That's from BirdFi, Reddit, alittlebirdcompany.co.uk, and for some reason LinkedIn. Ooh. All right, here's more detailed look at the symbolism associated with starlings. Community and unity. The starlings' behavior, particularly their murmurations, organized flight of thousands of starlings, is often interpreted as a symbol of unity, order, and the strength found in the collective. And that's from BirdFi. Not BirdFi, it's BIRDFY.com. And alittlebirdcompany.co.uk. I'm assuming most of these are going to be from there. Flexibility and change. Starlings are adaptable and can thrive in various environments, which can symbolize the ability to embrace change and adapt to new situations. Sorry guys, I haven't done this in a while. It's going to be hard to clip. Stop side talking. Messengers from the spirit world. Oh, who's that from? Yep, BirdFi. Messengers from the spirit world. In some cultures, starlings are seen as messengers from the spirit world, carrying messages or representing hope and good fortune. That's from Reddit and LinkedIn. Not reliable sources, but sounds good. Communication and voice. Starlings are known for their ability to mimic human speech. Oh, interesting. And the calls of other birds, which can symbolize the importance of communication, expressing oneself, and paying attention to one's voice. That's from BirdFi. In Celtic mythology, starlings were associated with Bridget, the goddess of healing and fertility. Shout out to BBC.com for that little tidbit. In Native American mythology, they are often seen as symbols of hope and good fortune. Reddit. In some Asian cultures, starlings are believed to be reincarnated souls. Again, Reddit. Shakespeare mentioning the starling in his play Henry IV, referring to the bird's ability to mimic human speech. It's in Ancestry.com. Meaning of the first name Starling. Ah, that is a pretty cool first name, Starling. Let's see what Ancestry.com has to say about it. You gotta be. Oh, it's right here. In ancient Greek and Roman mythology, the starling was said to be a sacred bird connected to important deities, further emphasizing its cultural significance. In literature, notable authors like William Shakespeare mentioned the starling in his play Henry IV, referring to the bird's ability to mimic human speech. I hope that's the fourth. IV and Roman numerals. 4, yep, okay. So yeah, starling is beautiful. Saw it a long time ago. I might have seen it recently. I don't know. But there was a scene in Peaky Blinders where Tom Hardy told Cillian Murphy, he's like, "You got starlings." He was gonna shoot him. He's like, "We'll get rid of them. Don't shoot them." Okay, so I'm going to see if I can find my articles from the summertime for Anxiety News. No, let's do angel number first. So I didn't do any research for an angel number, but today is a special day. Today is Pi Day. So and it's also St. Louis Day. It's also a couple people I love's birthday. Let's look up what it means. All right, in the context of angel numbers, 314 is a sign of creativity, independence, and a need to embrace new beginnings while trusting your intuition, and inner guidance. That's from Quora. Here's more detailed breakdown. So 3 represents creativity, optimism, and spiritual growth, encouraging you to pursue your passions and express your authenticity. 1 symbolizes new beginnings, independence, and the power of your thoughts and actions to manifest your desires. Well, I wonder if that's why they use 1010 in computers. 4 signifies stability, practicality, and building a strong foundation for your future, while also suggesting a need for balance and order. 314 combined suggests that you should trust your intuition and inner guidance as you embark on a new journey or project, and that your creativity and independence will lead you to success. That's from Quora. Let's see what else they got to say. Who else got something to say about 314? Yeah, so astrology.com says it's a powerful combination of energies, highlighting the importance of creativity, self-expression, and leadership. I think the big one here is creativity, which I believe is very important for all beings. Well, human beings. I don't know if dogs and cats feel the need to be creative. I mean, I guess in their own ways. Let's see, let's do one more. This is Litarian, Litairan. 314. I don't know if I like this. I'm gonna read it out loud though. Talent and skills. The holy forces are telling you that life is easy when you become smart and keep learning new things as you go along by sending you the angel number 314. Additionally, your thinking is crucial because you must maintain a good outlook even when your life becomes more difficult. You'll reach your destination. Never stop moving, just keep going. It's a lot of mixed messages in my opinion. You are dealing with a new situation in your life, possibly. Notably, you need to take this seriously because where you go will depend on it. Interesting. The characteristics associated with angel number 314 are in place for you to succeed in your goals. This is to let you know that your guardian spirits are working extra hard to make sure you realize your goals and aspirations. Now, you see 314 sometimes during the middle of the day, or when you're calling somebody in St. Louis. Okay, it says spiritually the number 314 implies that you must force yourself out of the current circumstance and onto a posture of love. On the other hand, your confidence will open up new opportunities to you. In the same way, the pain you experience now will lead to enjoyment in the future. So it will be helpful if you continue regardless of how challenging your quest has become. The fact that you keep seeing the number 314 suggests that your desire will enable you to advance in life. You need to realize this, and this is your path after all. You might need to finish the things you started in your life, notably the things you desire in life will cost them money. I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. The other ones are pretty cool. All right. We will return with anxiety news, movie review, Badass Woman of Herstory, a flow, and then we will go. I guess I could do the Badass Woman of Herstory now and just cut it up later. It was bath.
I ain't easily influenced by the people that surround me. People that surround me. I ain't easily influenced.
Now I'm gonna take a break and then try to get my phone out. Be right back.
I ain't easily influenced. I'd rather not get locked up, stabbed up, boxed up, make love not war, so it's products. I don't want to turn your book blank to sawdust. I'm Mr. Rubber Girlfriend, you all us. If you give her option, you will be watching her leave. Unless we don't influence her, she probably a G. But you ain't used to dip spending like.
Welcome to Anxiety News with Christopher X Chaos. These 3 topics, ladies and gentlemen, I got them months ago, and my computer was acting up, so I decided to just let it chill and play a video in the background. I tried to find the 3 topics. I found 2 that are very similar and 1 that was exactly the one. Let's get right into them tonight. Welcome again. So this one's called phone anxiety. Now this is the exact same one that I found months ago. It's from South Florida Business Journal, but it's shortened down to bizjournals.com. Phone anxiety disorder, a growing phenomenon. Excuse me. I was just eating some cucumber avocado rolls. Oh, that goes for the light. Sorry, guys. I'm very unprofessional. So yeah, let's read into it. So telephonophobia is the clinical term for the fear of making or answering phone calls. Oh, so I thought this was gonna be like people being on their cell phones so they don't have to interact with other people, but no. This is the fear of making or answering phone calls. Oh. Experts describe it as a type of social anxiety now often experienced by workers under 40. That's it? Is that the whole article? Oh, preview. Oh, I want to listen to it. Well, that's quite interesting. Why is that? Well, we know that it's been a gradual change where people have preferred to text for the longest. People now are getting back into phone calls and FaceTiming each other. The young people like to do this. It's odd for me. I don't like how I look up close. I'm not designed for that. But yeah, it makes sense. People not want to. I mean, me being 36, I used to always have to be on the phone for my jobs. One of the cringiest things I used to have to do at Ace Cash Express, was call people and remind them that they had to come pay in loans. And that takes a skill to not come off as being an asshole while you're trying to remind them that you owe the company I work for money. It's quite interesting. And then when I worked at a clothing store called Levine's, I used to have to call other stores to see if they have the product that a customer might want, and we could either have them send it to us or we could send the customer over there. These days, I mean, last time I went to GameStop, it was almost like nah, we can't call them, but it's like they didn't really want to, and I get it, but it's annoying, ladies and gentlemen, and this is something that's brand new. Who knows what other phobias are going to come out of this new generation? Moving on. So the one that I got, this is from 7 months ago. It's probably around the same time. It was on MSN, but it's a different article. But it talks about how heat can worsen depression and anxiety. That's the one I wanted to read. But this one says, can I get seasonal depression in the summer? Now in the winter, I get seasonal depression because there's not enough sun. I need the sun. But this is saying some people get seasonal depression in the summer, which I understand as well. When the summer heat and this is from MSN.com, when the summer heat and humidity climb to unbearable levels, meteorologists, school administrators, and government officials often discuss ways to stay cool. But what about the impact on our mental health? Heat records are being broken with regularity, and last year was no exception. This is from 2024. During a brutal and deadly summer in 23, July became the hottest month ever recorded with modern equipment. What are we looking forward to this year, ladies and gentlemen? This July was not just warmer than any previous July, it was the warmest month in our record, which goes back to 1880, said Gavin Schmidt, director of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. After the record fell, the science is clear that this isn't normal. Alarming warming around the world is driven primarily by human-caused greenhouse gas emissions. And that rise in average temperatures is fueling dangerous extreme heat that people are experiencing here at home and worldwide. Now, some scientists do argue that these are changes that the Earth will go through whether or not we existed. I'm in the middle. I don't know. But I've also read, this helps my anxiety because I read the Bible through and through. Well, I read it once all the way through. And the Apocrypha and the Gnostic Gospels. And the Apocrypha, there's a book where there's a dude named Ezra who fasts and talks to an angel, and the angel answers his questions. And one of his questions was like, a lot of his questions were why this and why that. But at one point, God said to the angel to tell Ezra, that's why, for this reason, I made two earths. And when you grow up and you find out they're not really recycling the plastic and shit like they said they were, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to stress over something I can't really. When there's countries that are burning tires and shit. Side rant. The human body is really sensitive to heat. Dr. Susan Albers, a psychologist with the Cleveland Clinic, told Nexstar, but a heat wave can also take a toll on the mind. They say it's hard to truly sleep too when you're hot. Warm weather usually helps our mental state, but excessive heat does exactly the opposite, Albers said. What studies have shown is that when the heat goes up, people are more irritable, angry. They have a lot of discomfort, difficulty sleeping, and cognitive issues. Like 50 said, summertime is the killing season. Heat in our mind. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is usually tied to winter, but experts say there's a subset. Now, not SAD, just regular SAD. It's SAD, capital letters on every letter. But experts say there's a subset of people who experience major depression during the summertime. Kelly Rohan, PhD, a clinical psychologist at the University of Vermont who studies the seasonal phenomenon, told the American Psychological Association that summer SAD is understudied, but appears to be linked on how some people experience heat and humidity. I mean, that's why I shaved my head, because having hair just adds to that irritability. Some of the same neurotransmitters like norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin that are involved in mood regulators are also involved in thermoregulation, Rohan said. So maybe there is some dysfunction in one or more of these neurotransmitter systems that confers to a risk of depression, as well as the inability to tolerate heat and humidity. I mean, for sure, I think some bodies and some people are used to a different kind of climate than others. While less common than it is in the winter months, Rohan said those who suffer from SAD in the summer tend to, I got the summertime sadness, tend to report weight loss, diminished appetite, and insomnia. This is the opposite of common winter SAD symptoms, which often include weight gain, food cravings, and sleeping too much. Summer type SAD may have a behavioral or cognitive component, as sufferers trying to avoid the heat isolate themselves at home for days or weeks. Heat can affect mental health in a variety of ways, research shows. A 2022 study found that on the hottest days of the year, there was an 8% jump in mental health crisis that resulted in a visit to a hospital emergency department when compared to the coolest days. Because not everybody's cool. The conditions include substance use disorders, anxiety, stress, schizophrenia, delusions, self-harm, and child-onset behavioral disorders.
Researchers found that there were higher rates in the Northwest, Northeast, and Midwest, possible because homes in those regions were less likely to have air conditioning than other areas, such as the South Side, the South Side, yeah, the South Side, the South Side, yeah. The importance of staying cool. When it comes to the connection between mood and the weather, Dr. Albers recommends a number of self-care measures people should take. Whenever possible, doing errands or outdoor chores before 10 and remain indoors during the hottest parts of the day. I also tell my clients to take cold showers, take a cold washcloth, put on your forehead or put behind your neck. And this is going to help you to cool off really instantly. Bro, drink cold fucking water. Keep some cold fucking water on you and drink the hell out of it. Experts say nearly all psychotropic medications, with the exceptions of benzodiazepines, can further lower the body's defense against heat, elevating the possibility of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. It's like if you're rolling, just keep some water. Heat impacts neurotransmitter production, our sleep, and the quality of our hormone regulation, Albers said. So these three factors are significantly impacting our mood, and the interplay between these two things can make or break our mood. In the short term, we can manage the symptoms of heat day to day, staying inside, being cool. People who are already struggling with aspects of their mental health may be especially vulnerable during a protracted heat wave, and Albers says that the best time to check on the people and on loved ones. Some red flags that you're really struggling emotionally are changes in your daily functioning. Albers told Nexstar, you're having difficulty getting to work, changes in appetite, your sleep. Those are some primary red flags, and it's time to check in with your mental health provider or physician. I don't get depressed in the summer. For the past few summers, I've taken off. I've taken vacation. I mean, I get stressed because I use all my money. But the summer, I like the sun. I really like the sun. What? Oh, we have one more, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this one is also similar to the one that I wanted to find, but it's different. This one came out on August 23, 2024, around the same time as the other article I was looking for. So, for goodness, it's about the same, close enough. How to trust your gut instead of overthinking. The other one I wanted to read was something about anxiety and maybe needing to listen to your gut, but it's very similar. This is from Psychology Today. Everyone has had the experience of immediately knowing a solution or an answer without being aware of exactly how or why we know it. Though intuition is not always accurate, studies have indicated that by using both gut feelings and analytical thinking at the same time, your decisions are quicker, better, and more accurate than they would be if you left your intuition out of it. Surveys of top executives have proven that when most of these leaders are faced with crisis, they base their decisions on a blend of both emotional cues and past experiences. Even in the U.S. Navy, teaches Marines and sailors to listen to their guts, since instinct tends to outperform intellect in combat and other high-stakes situations. What science has proven about trusting gut feelings, contrary to popular belief, intuition is actually a function of the nervous system. Your digestive tract contains 100 million neurons, which comprise an enormous neural network. That's why scientists refer to the digestive system as the second brain. Is that light? Is it computer? Is it? All right, we're going. The gut contains more neurons than the spinal cord. Goodness, which shows how powerful its processing abilities really are. We all know the feeling of evaluating a decision with the pit in our stomach. That's one of the ways that the gut makes its feelings known. How do you do intuition when making decisions? Those who identify as highly sensitive experience gut feelings more strongly than most people, but they're often encouraged to disregard what their gut tells them. High sensitivity allows you to recognize, process, and integrate information deeply, including information about the emotions of those around you, since you are continually taking in more data than 80% of the population who do not share your trait of high sensitivity. Interesting. Superpowers, maybe? Your intuition is more highly developed as a result. Unfortunately, you have probably been encouraged to downplay this data and underutilize this personal strength. Indeed. When you deliberately practice using your intuition, you strengthen it. The following tactics can help you start to leverage your intuitive sense as a tool in your decision making. Know the difference between gut feeling and fear. When we feel afraid, our bodies tend to chime in with constricting or minimizing sensations. This may include feelings of panic, tension, or desperation. There's a sense of a pushing energy, like we're struggling to use force or decide out of the desire to sidestep danger, punishment, or rejection. We also tend to criticize ourselves when we're fearful. Intuition has a pulling energy. Its guidance feels like we're maneuvering ourselves in the optimal direction, even if that means taking a risk or taking our time. Intuition can include feelings of being at ease or content, or excited and full of positive anticipation. Your body tends to relax. Gut feelings speak in a voice that's wiser and more grounded, almost like you're listening to a trusted mentor. Make small decisions first. Let yourself speak up in a meeting without overthinking what you say or holding back. Select an outfit you feel drawn to without considering the pros and cons. You can raise your comfort levels by following intuition and making speedy, low-stake decisions. This avoids overwhelming and lays the groundwork for making bigger, more consequential decisions later on. By starting small, you'll strengthen your abilities to tolerate distress and to self-regulate your emotions even when you are uncomfortable. Take your choices out for a test drive. Try role-playing instead of thinking too much. If you're contemplating a career shift into a new industry, pretend you've already made the decision to go with option A and act accordingly. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions. After doing this for 2 or 3 days, try option B on for size and act as if you decided not to switch industries after all. When the 4 to 6 days of role play are done, evaluate your reactions to each possible choice. Take everything you mean to not make a joke. Experiment with snap judgment tests. Thin slicing or utilizing rapid cognition can let your brain choose without thinking too much and help you learn to trust your gut more. The snap judgment test will let you try this out. Make a list of questions on paper like, would I find more joy in another line of work? Write out yes and no below the question. Set the pen down. Wait a few hours, then go back to the page and circle your answer without thinking. You might not like the answer, particularly if it's a big question, but it's likely that snap judgment just forced you to give an honest answer. Lean on your values. There's an Odd Pie episode we just dropped about values. Viewing your emotions through the lens of your core values can help you understand why certain events and circumstances trigger negative feelings. For instance, if you feel agitated in the aftermath of a bad day at work, maybe the cause of this tension is the fact that you're hiding how you really feel about an important factor. If one of your core values is honesty, you might find that distressing. By checking in with your values in light of your current circumstance, you may gain insight and determine what's out of balance. Take time today to contemplate which 1 to 3 values mean the most to you. When you find yourself next facing a difficult decision, consider which outcome is most aligned with your core values. Intuition can relax your inner tension and stave off looping thoughts. One last thing to keep in mind is that intuition doesn't thrive in stressful, fast-paced environments. Let your mind wander and find connections that you couldn't see before. While intuition isn't perfect, it can be a great tool when making decisions. Most people don't use it very much. If you try these strategies, you're likely to come to the conclusion that intuition is a more powerful tool in your decision-making toolkit than you'd ever imagined. This is by Melody Wilding. Nice name. A professor of human behavior at Hunter College, an executive coach, a licensed social worker, and the author of Trust Yourself. Real shit. Real stuff. Sorry. I think certain things were designed to dull down our intuition. The apps, social media. All right. Thank you for joining Anxiety News, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. What? Why are you still recording? Let's all go to the movies. Hopefully they don't sue me. Let's all go to the movies. Y'all, I won this random contest on Instagram. this badass fanny pack. And it comes with this, so I can put my little V8. Hey, it's on the way to the movies. Let's see if the camera's good. Alright, so this is an old movie. I mean, it's not old. Came out last summer. That's when I saw it. That's when I wanted to review it. Inside Out 2. I saw it with my mom and my sister. I remember it being hot in the theater because it was summertime. And my chair was fucked up. So I had to like sit at an angle. And then, which is fine, whatever. And I'm sweating a little bit. And I'm crying. So it's just like, it's a good movie. So in the first movie, she's like a kid and they move. In the second movie, she's a teenager going through puberty. So she has new kinds of emotions, new characters. And most of us have been a teenager before, so we know what it's like. It's tough. And I'm the father of a teenager, so I know it's tough. Pixar is just beasting, man. It's just, they don't really miss too much. So, you know, they hit. Alright, so let's do a little back story. It's a 2024 American animated coming-of-age film produced by Pixar. It's the sequel to Inside Out, which came out in 2015. Can't believe it's been that long. It's directed by Kelsey Mann, produced by Mark Nielsen, from a screenplay written by Meg LeFaux and Dave Holstein, and a story conceived by Mann and LeFaux. Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, Lewis Black, Diane Lane, and Kyle MacLachlan reprised their roles from the first film, with Maya Hawke, Kensington Tallman replacing Caitlin Diaz, Lisa Lapira replacing Mindy Kaling, Tony Hale replacing Bill Hader, Ayo Edebiri, Lily Mar, Grace Liu, Samaya Nurudin Green, Adele Exarchopoulos, and Paul Walter Hauser joining the cast. The film tells the story of Riley's emotions as they find themselves joined by other new emotions that want to take over Riley's mind. Work on Inside Out 2 commenced in 2020 after Mann revisited photos of one of his childhood birthday parties. The film features Pixar Chief Creative Officer Pete Docter's 5 to 27 emotions idea from the first film that Mann pitched during his production to utilize truthful world building. Inside Out 2 premiered at El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, LA on June 10th, 2024, and was released in the United States on June 14th. The film received positive reviews from critics and grossed $1.699 billion worldwide, breaking multiple box office records, including becoming the highest grossed animated film of all time from September 24 to February 2025. Or I wonder who. It also became the highest grossing film of 2024 and the 8th highest grossing film at the time of its release. The film received nominations for Best Animated Feature at the Golden Globes, Critic Choice, BAFTAs, and Academy Awards. It additionally received a nomination for Cinematic and Box Office Achievement at the Golden Globes. A sequel, Inside Out 3, is in development. Alright, so this is the plot. 2 years after her move to San Francisco, 13-year-old Riley Anderson is entering high school. Her personified emotions, joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger, are now receive a newly formed element of Riley's mind called her sense of self, which houses memories and feelings that shape Riley's beliefs. Joy, aiming to fill the sense of self with only good memories, has created a mechanism that launches bad memories to the back of Riley's mind. Riley and her best friends, Bree and Grace, and it's not even that traumatic, and she's just going through normal kid shit. Riley and her best friends, Bree and Grace, are invited to a 3-day ice hockey camp where Riley hopes to qualify for her new school's team, the Firehawks. In her mind, a puberty alarm goes off the night before camp, and several workers upgrade the emotion console, leaving headquarters in disarray. The emotions find that Riley now overreacts to any inputs they make to the console. 4 new emotions: anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and ennui. What is ennui? Let's look at it. Boredom. Arrive and clash with the original emotions over their approaches. In particular, joy wants Riley to have fun at camp, while anxiety focuses on winning a spot on the team and making new friends, especially after Riley learns that Brie and Grace will be attending a different high school. Under Joy's control, Riley inadvertently gets the campers in trouble by the strict camp director, Coach Roberts. Anxiety, deciding that Riley needs to change to fit in with the older players, launches the sense of self back to the mind and has the old emotions bottled up and thrown in a memory vault. The new emotions then create a new anxiety-dominated sense of self and encourage Riley to befriend popular hockey player Valentina Val Ortiz, straining her friendship with Brie and Grace. The original emotions escape the vault, while the others go to retrieve Riley's old sense of self. Sadness returns to headquarters to prepare to bring them back via a recall tube. Sadness is discovered by Embarrassment, who reluctantly helps her remain hidden, eventually helping her out. I think it's the big one with the hoodie. Looks like Kenny from South Park. Under anxiety's control, Riley sneaks into Coach Roberts' office and learns from her notebook that Riley is not considered yet to be ready yet to become a Firehawk. The 4 original emotions find the old sense of self on the mountain of bad memories deposited by Joy's mechanism. Unable to use the recall tube's plan due to anxiety destroying it, they cause an avalanche of memories to return them to headquarters. Causes the memories to spill. Oh, that's a metaphor. Call back to earlier. Causing the memories to spill into Riley's belief system. Anxiety realizes that the sense of self she has created for Riley is one of self-doubt, which causes Riley to perform poorly during her final tryout match. It's accidentally hurt Grace and got sent to the penalty box. Horrified, Anxiety frantically swarms the console in a binding whirlwind, causing Riley to have a panic attack. Returning to headquarters, Joe finds Anxiety still in control but distressed. Joy convinces her that Riley doesn't need to change to have a better future. Anxiety relents and Joy reinstates Riley's original sense of self, but the panic attack persists. After Anxiety admits that she cannot determine who Riley is, Joy realizes that the same applies to her. Joy removes the first sense of self and allows a new one to form from Riley's good and bad memories. The emotions embrace this third self, calming Riley and helping her reconcile with Brie and Grace. The console calls for Joy, who takes command and helps Riley happily finish the hockey tryouts. Riley befriends Val and the other Firehawks at high school while maintaining her friendship with Brie and Grace. Living in peace, the 9 emotions work together to protect Riley as she checks her phone for the Firehawks recruitment results. Wow. So Maya Hawke, Maya Hawke is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. She is very pretty. She does Anxiety's voice. Amy Poehler is Joy. Let's see. Discuss Lisa Lapira. She's from New York, Queens. Diane Lane. Oh, I know her. She's the mom. Let's see who's the dad. Oh, I know him too. Kyle MacLachlan. Yvette Nicole Brown, all from Community. They're making the movie. She was the coach. Ron Funches, a comedian, was Bluefy, a character from Riley's favorite childhood TV show. He's similar to the hosts of interactive children's shows as Blue's Clues and Dora the Explorer. Bluefy. Young Ye is Lance Slash. It's a YouTuber. Oh yeah, the mom and dad have their own anger. Those are funny, like the outro part where they show like the parents and stuff. So development, boring, research writing. Initially, the plot of the film was to involve a talent show, but the idea ended up being scrapped. After about 3 test screenings, Nielsen, Mann, and LaFoe decided it was best to center the story on Riley playing hockey, as they felt it was a unique aspect of her character. The decision was also influenced by input Mann received from Turning Red director Domi Shi when he asked how to make the film unique from other coming-of-age stories, including her own. The scene where the old emotions are locked and involved was originally longer, but was trimmed down and several gags were cut out due to time constraints. Man, I wish they didn't have time constraints on movies. Well, some movies. Because in some, it'd be Scott Snyder films every time. Imagine a 7-hour Inside Out. A character based on the emotion of shame was intended to be a part of the film, was axed, in part due to Kelter contesting that shame was not an emotion. So they talked to professors of psychology. Let's see, animation, music, marketing, home media. I need to rewatch it because I haven't watched it since I watched it the first time. Response, everybody liked it because of course I liked it. I like the move it. I like the move it. So yeah, check it. Even though I just told you everything, I didn't tell you like the jokes. I didn't tell you. That's just the plot. But it's pretty good. Check it out. All ages. Let's all go to the movies. Hopefully they don't sue me. Well, howdy, folks. It's Cowboy Chris, and we're here for another episode of Badass Women of Herstory. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Patricia Era Bath. She was born November 4th, 1942, and passed right before the craziness of the pandemic in May 30th, 2019. She was an American ophthalmologist and humanitarian. She became the first female member of the Jules Stein Eye Institute, the first woman to lead a postgraduate training program in ophthalmology, and the first woman elected to the honorary staff of the UCLA Medical Center. Bath was the first African American to serve as a resident in ophthalmology at New York University. Wow, I lost my accent pretty fast there. She was also the first African American woman to serve on staff as a surgeon at the UCLA Medical Center. Bath was the first American woman, doctor to receive a patent for a medical purpose. A holder of 5 patents, she founded the nonprofit American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness in Washington, D.C. Let's get into her early life, ladies and gentlemen. She was born in Harlem, New York. Shout out to Harlem. In 1942, Patricia Bath was the daughter of Rupert and Gladys Bath. Her father was an immigrant from Trinidad, a newspaper columnist, a merchant seaman, and the first black man to work for the New York City subway as a motorman. Her father inspired her love for culture and encouraged her to explore different cultures. Her mother was descended from African slaves and Cherokee Native Americans. Throughout her childhood, Bath was often told by her parents to never settle for less than her best, and had been encouraged by the support of education. My accent is getting into some kind of southern, I don't know what it is. Her mother encouraged her dreams and love of science, had bought her first chemistry set. Well, I love that. By the time she had reached high school, Bath was already a National Science Foundation scholar. This led to her cancer research earning a front page feature in the New York Times. And this is when the New York Times meant something, ladies and gentlemen. Not like today. Patricia and her brother attended Charles Evans Hughes High School, where both students excelled in science and math. Yeah. Inspired by the French Nobel Peace Prize laureate Albert Schweitzer's work in medicine, Bath applied for and won National Science Foundation scholarship while attending high school. This led to her research project at Yeshiva University and Harlem Hospital Center, studying connections between cancer, nutrition, and stress. Well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, there's something there. And I lost it. In this summer program led by Rabbi Moses D. Tindler, Bath has studied the effects of streptomycin residue on bacteria. Let's look at what streptomycin is. It's a lot easier than using it on the computer. It's an antibiotic medication used to treat a number of bacterial infections, including tuberculosis, endocarditis, plague, just plague, period, plague, disease. So plague is just a disease caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. All right, we're getting off track, ladies and gentlemen. Through this, she was able to conclude that cancer itself was a catabolic disease and tumor growth was a symptom. Let's see what catabolic means. Catabolism is not cannibalism, catabolism is the set of metabolic pathways that breaks down molecules into smaller units that are either oxidized, release energy, or used in their other anabolic reactions. Catabolism is the breaking down aspect of metabolism, where anabolism is the building up aspect. So it has something to do with breaking down fatty tissue. All right, so I don't know, man. She's a genius, is basically what they're saying. She also discovered a mathematical equation that could be used to predict cancer cell growth. Wow. Yee-hi indeed. The head of the research program realized the significance of her findings and published them in a scientific paper. Her discoveries were also shared at the International Fifth Congress of Nutrition in the fall of 1960. In 1960, at the age of 18 years old, Patricia Bath won a merit award from Mademoiselle magazine for her contribution to the project. I mean, she did the project. She was the project. You know what I'm saying? Bath received her Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry from Manhattan's Hunter College in 1964. She then relocated to Washington, D.C. to attend Howard University College of Medicine. Her first year at Howard coincided with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. She co-founded the Student National Medical Association and became its first woman president in 1965. At Howard, she was awarded the Children'sboro National Government Fellowship Award to do research in Belgrade, Yugoslavia in the summer of 1967, where her research focused on pediatric surgery. Let's see what that is. It's a surgical care of birth defects required novel techniques and method and became more commonly based at Children's Hospital. Pediatric surgery is a subspecialty of surgery involving the surgery of fetuses, infants, children, adolescents, and young adults. Oh, interesting. I think I knew that. Where were we at, ladies and gentlemen? The highlight of the award ceremony was the meeting of Earl Warren, Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, and the U.S. Embassy in Belgrade. Bath graduated with honors from Howard University College of Medicine in 1968. She was awarded the Edmund Watson Prize for Excellence in Ophthalmology by her mentor, Louis A. Young. It's going to get serious here, ladies and gentlemen. The assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 caused Bath to dedicate herself to achieving one of the dreams of King, namely the empowerment of people through the Poor People's Campaign. She organized and led Howard University medical students who provided volunteer healthcare services to the Poor People's Campaign in Resurrection City in the summer of 1968. Bath returned to her Harlem community and interned at Harlem Hospital Center, which had just become affiliated with Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. During her internship, she observed large proportions of blind patients at Harlem Hospital in comparison to patients at the Columbia University Eye Clinic. Before beginning her ophthalmology residency study at NYU in 1970, Bath was awarded a one-year fellowship from Columbia University to study and contribute to eye care services at Harlem Hospital, which she began collecting data on blindness and visual impairment at Harlem Hospital, which did not have any ophthalmologists on staff. Her data and passion for improvement persuaded her. I sound like a robot. Her data and passion for improvement persuaded her professors from Columbia to begin operating on blind patients without charge at Harlem Hospital Center. Amen. Bath was proud to be on the Columbia team that performed the first eye surgery at Harlem Hospital in November of 1969. Bath served her residency in ophthalmology at New York University from 1970. I can't read, guys. Sorry, that's me. From 1970 to 1973, the first African American to do so. She gave birth to her daughter, Erica, in 1972. All right, let's get into her career, ladies and gentlemen. After completing her residency, all right, I really want to get into what she created, her inventions. Let's get to the inventions, because this is what really drew me to this beautiful, incredible woman. All right, so in 1986, Bath conducted research in the laboratory of Danielle Erin Rosa, a pioneer researcher in lasers and ophthalmology at Rothschild Eye Institute of Paris, and then at the Laser Medical Center in Berlin, where she was able to begin early studies in her laser cataract surgery, including her first experiment with excimer laser photo ablation using human eye bank eyes. I just clicked on laser photo ablation. I'm not even going to try it. Bath coined the term laser-phaco for the process, short for laser photoablative cataract surgery, and developed the laser, it's PHACOs, I don't know, phaco, probe, a medical device that improves on the use of lasers to remove cataracts, and for ablating and removing cataract lenses. Bath first had the idea for this type of device in 81, but did not apply for a patent until several years later. The device was completed in 86 after Bath conducted research on lasers in Berlin and patented in 88, making her the first African American woman to receive a patent for a medical purpose. The device, which quickly and nearly painlessly dissolves a cataract with a laser, irrigates and cleans the eye, and permits the easy insertion of a new lens, is used internationally to treat the disease. Bath continued to improve the device and successfully restored vision to people who had been unable to see for decades. Bath holds 5 patents in the United States. 3 of Bath's 5 patents relate to the laser-phaco probe. In 2000, she was granted a patent for a method of using pulsed ultrasound to remove cataracts. And in 2003, a patent for combining laser and ultrasound to remove cataract. My goodness. And then look, the awards. Look at those awards. Honors and awards. It's crazy. Where's the movie? If they made a movie, where's the remake? They're remaking every single movie that's ever been made. They need a movie for Patricia Bath. Ladies and gentlemen, Patricia Era Bath. She was the leader of a new era. Literally. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of another episode of the Friday Podcast. And I'd like to end it properly. I think the camera's crooked, but whatever. We're going to do a freestyle. This is from VD Beats on YouTube. VEEDYBEATS. Yeah. I feel great, even if I shouldn't. I hold the weight, even if you wouldn't. I be grinding, not for shining, just surviving. Gotta make that money for dough, to make bread for my son, you know. And for myself,
And for my family, I pray to God that He never damns me. I know things happen. I know accidents occur. And life is just a blur. You laugh like Bill Burr. Yeah, that's the word. Man, I swerve. It's on purpose. Cause I'm from Texas. Sometimes we reckless. But you will respect us. Third Coast. What it is. I'm coming through for the business, for the whole hip-hop industry. That's what I got into me. That's what I was born to do. I ain't fucking with you former fools. I'm talking about rappers just for the clout. You just here for the gout. Trying to get greedy and rich, looking like a bitch. We all know you snitch. It is what it is. This one's for the kids. Stay away from the biz. I'm talking selling pharmaceuticals. It ain't meant for me or you. It's meant for the powers that be. Yeah. Fuck them cubicles. What rhymes with fucking pharmaceuticals? Keep clean your cuticles. Take care of your children and your pupils. Spit knowledge anytime that you can. And when they want it, let's jam. I'm the motherfucking man. There I am. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was fucking fire. That says free for profit, melodic type beat. Fallen Star, dark type beat, rap trap beat, instrumental. You gotta do the subscribe, VD Beats. I love y'all. Right here it says, what's the issue with the copyright? Let's see what he says. I can only assume an unlicensed sample. Read descriptions. Nah, he just stole it. Oh, so that sample. So this dude used a sample. Whatever. It is what it is. It was what it was. We're just having fun, getting buzz. I love you, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out. Until next time on the Friday podcast.
"2020, no fear. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, so scared is what I ain't. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, so scared is what I ain't. To the colonizers, my people was savage, while they raped and stole, only leaving us Spanish. Agriculturally advanced, but they had the cannons, had disease to infect so that we would vanish. That shit was lighter than ours, so they had the advantage. White supremacy's a joke, cause white dicks below average. From the Native Americans, giving liquor for land, to melanated enslaved who built it all by hand. Chinese died building roads, it all stems from jealousy. The Hitler's genocide, so fuck white supremacy. If we're the tribes of Israel, that's why some of us miserable. They try and separate us, but we are indivisible. Literal individuals, bound by the spiritual, connected to my people via metaphysical. Staying positive's priority. I need my mind strong, no fear, no hate, baby, always ready for the wrong. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, so scared is what I ain't. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, so scared is what I ain't. For times I almost died.